do. As it became clearer and clearer that things were starting to fall apart, the city manager and his staff, and progressively with the other players that are involved in Heartland Park, began to talk about what could be worked out. They kept us informed. I know that people have been angry that it seemed like things were going on behind closed doors. And I'm not here to defend the proposal or anything. We wanted to have a discussion. But the issue is, when you've got legal issues, when you've got personal foreclosures being threatened, when the city's involved, those are issues that are typically handled in executive session. So they were, bit by bit along the way, we were advised that things were happening. It was appropriate, very arguably, to have those sessions in executive session, but I certainly look at that and realize that it allowed all of us, bit by bit, to learn and understand what was going on, which was an advantage that the public did not have. Understand that. We also thought that there was no solution. No one could figure out how to save the taxpayers the $10 million, how to save the park, and also save, of course, that $200,000 a year plus in sales tax revenue. What emerged from conversations that staff was involved with in the spring were the possibility, which had been kicked around for a while, of expanding the Star Bond District. I am a terrible artist, but here's Heartland Park down here. What happened was that when the Star Bonds were done for Heartland Park at first, typically what they do for that kind of a deal is you just draw a circle around it. So all of the money to pay off those bonds needed to be generated by Heartland Park right there inside that circle. In hindsight, that probably wasn't very realistic. There were all sorts of hopes and dreams for how racing would grow at Heartland Park and how economic development would happen around that, and that in time, so the bonds were set so that the payments went up each year on the anticipation that there might not be that much at first, but as it grew, they would be able to pay more on the bonds. That didn't happen. What got talked about a lot was the fact that when the racers came, because of this district and the fans, that they were staying, many of them would camp on site, which gave some revenue here, but they would fill up all the hotels in town, they would eat at restaurants all over town, and so that even though we didn't see the money coming in directly, there was a tremendous economic gain for Topeka to have racing in Topeka. Nonetheless, we were having to cover the payments on those bonds. And I say we. I didn't get onto the council till 2009. All of this happened before I did, as well as Elaine and TJ.